সুকান্ত ভাই, ওই স্পিকারকে তুলে দেন। Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope everyone getting well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to our Institution of Global Professional Free International webinar. Thank you all for joining with us in this marvelous session, and I hope you stay with us till the program ends. And time to time, you like our Facebook page and subscribe our YouTube channel for upcoming information. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member, and I feel honored to host this webinar. And it's my delight to welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professional Free International webinar. Once again, I am Kamrul, coordinator of IGP from Bangladesh. Dear participants, after our speaker presentation, we have quiz competition, and today top 10 quiz competition winners get their quiz certificate after this session from our official Facebook page. And later we have also Q&A program, and after that we share our certification process. Dear participants, today our webinar name is Building Assertiveness and Self-Confidence. Today we have a speaker from Philippines. Today our speaker name is Josephine Tolentino. Let's we welcome our speaker to the screen.
Paki, wala pa rin. Wala pa rin.
Hello ma'am, welcome.
Good afternoon,
We
sir.
continue to the global
Can you hear me
professional.
now?
Yes ma'am, I hear you.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome. Good afternoon, sir.
Global
Can you hear me now?
Yes ma'am, I hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Hello ma'am, welcome. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you ma'am. You can start your presentation now.
Yes, ma'am, I hear you. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you ma'am. You can start your presentation now.
Can I start now, sir?
Yes ma'am, you can start your presentation now.
Hello?
Yes ma'am, you can start your
Hello, sir.
presentation now.
Is it okay?
Yes ma'am, I hear you.
Okay, sir. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for the introduction. And thank you for this opportunity to speak again with the Institute of Global Professionals, or IGP. I am Josephine Tolentino, and I'm speaking again live here in the municipality of Magalang, province of Pampanga in the Philippines. Before I start, allow me to greet my fellow professionals and our dear audience a very pleasant day, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I am currently teaching at Flores National High School, and I am handling technology and livelihood education for grade 8, and I am teaching dressmaking for their exploratory, and grade 10 for their specialization, which is animal production. And I am currently the music coordinator, choir trainer, organist of the Association of St. John Mary Vianney in our parish. Today and every day is always a special day to all of us. I am glad to share with you here the presentation of my topic, Building Assertiveness and Self-Confidence. So today, I will be discussing assertiveness, the benefits of assertiveness, self-confidence, the four communication styles, which are the following: aggressive, passive aggressive, and assertive. So for our learning objectives, at the end of the program, you will be able to define assertiveness and self-confidence and the four styles of communications. Be familiar with the core concepts of assertiveness and self-confidence. So let us start with our program. Let us have the lesson 1, Introduction to Assertiveness and Self-Confidence. So what is assertiveness? So when we say assertiveness, assertiveness has been defined as confident and even forceful and forceful behavior. So the person here is what we call the assertive person. And then of course, our attitude here is being assertive. We have the assertiveness attitude. So therefore, we are confident and even forceful to our behavior. We can stand up to what behavior we are uh, showing. Okay, next. For the person, an assertive person is confident and direct in dealing with others. The question is, how do you deal with what you want? How do you deal with people? So there are different ways on how we deal with people. Of course, one is the direct and what we call the indirect dealing. So when we say direct dealing with people is that we can talk to the person face to face in order to say what we need, to express what we need. So when we say indirect dealing, indirect dealing, we mean here the way we put our communication through. It can be the use of technology through phones, emails, the messengers. So those are the different ways on how we deal indirect. So another definitions, we have assertive communications, promote fairness and equality in human interactions based on a positive sense of respect for self and others. In this one, we communicate but not we communicate in a more positive sense to give respect for self and through others. And there is always what we call promote fairness and equality in human. Anyway, the communication skill can be learned. Assertive behavior is situational specific, meaning different types of assertive behavior can be used in different situations. That's why we need to adjust the way we communicate as long as it gives respect for ourselves and to others. For our next slides, assertive behavior includes the ability to stand up for the person's legitimate rights without violating the rights of others or being overly fearful in the process. How is this? So, um, our behavior as an assertive person, we always do not want to violate the rights of others as a respect, and we can stand um, to our rights as long it is legitimate. So here, assertive behavior, it is what we need to possess as teachers, leaders, and somewhat or manager. Next slide. Assertive behavior involves three categories of skills. First, we have the self-affirmation, self-expressing of positive feedback, is expressing positive or negative feelings. Therefore, the behavior of the person who is assertive is we can express the negative from positive. We can do both. And what is the difference between assertive and non-assertive? We are talking about here the people. So non-assertive people, or in other words, normal people, do not generally want to transform into excessively dominant people. While assertive people never stop learning, asking how to discover more techniques in developing ways to conquer challenges. We do not say that assertive people are what kind of dominant, because in the assertiveness there is what we call positive attitude. Here, non-assertive people, they are what we call the normal people that do not generally want to transform into excessively dominant people. Again, assertive people are not what we call the dominant people. They just want to stand up to their rights as long as it is legitimate or legit, what we call. And let us move now to the benefits of assertiveness. What do you think are the benefits of being assertive or assertiveness? First, express your needs to be heard. As a teacher, do you express your need directly or indirectly? How are you going, or what will you do about uh, on how to express your needs? So therefore, one benefits of being assertive is you can express your needs to be heard. And of course, you can gain a process or technique to assert yourself with ease. As what I have mentioned a while ago, that assertive people or assertive behavior do not stop of thinking on how to conquer challenges. So they can develop their own techniques. So in here, increase the likelihood of getting your needs met. Of course, if you were able to express and your needs was heard, you can get you can meet, or you can get what your needs is or wants. At least you can express it in a better way. For this one, address criticism effectively to protect your self-esteem. So criticism here can be handled because you are confident, directly to especially to our co-workers. If we hear criticisms from them, we can confront the people or the co-workers that we are in. In order for us to have a better relationship. And then, once you heard the criticism, you can easily handle what is that criticism, which is meant for you. And then here, reduce fear and anxiety. May I ask, do you ask what or do you ask question about about the correction that they are giving to you? How do you um, ask the questions? Is it directly or indirectly? You can write your answer or your feedback in our comment box. And then Avoid beating up yourself. Here, avoid giving yourself a stress because you are not expressing what you, because if you are not expressing what you want, you will be the one who will give stress to yourself. Am I right? Okay. Next, another benefits, we can handle conflict with confidence. So whatever the conflict is, we are confident enough to handle the situation. Then next, we can stand up for our rights. If we know we are in the correct way, correct path, definitely we can stand for it. And then build self-esteem and self-confidence. If we were able to ask questions about the matter. Therefore, we can develop self-esteem and self-confidence, and then it will lesser our fear. Are you afraid of asking your school leader, what about how about the performance? If she or he will give you a comments or just a piece of advice, can you ask the school leader why did she or he give you that kind of advice or piece of advice? You can write your comment on the comment box. And then the last one, reduce stress. Of course, I okay, reduce stress. Once that we were able to express whatever it is, negative, positive, we can work in a better relationship with others. And here we do not keep anything, something to ourselves that will give us more stress. So those are the benefits of assertiveness. So next, what is self-confidence? So self-confidence is a belief in oneself, one's ability, or one's judgment. They say it is a freedom from doubt. Therefore, when you are confident, you are not afraid, you are not ashamed to express yourself. When you believe that you can change things or make a difference in a situation, you are more likely to succeed. So I can say each and every one of us must have self-confidence. All of us have self-confidence. But the only thing is that there are so many obstacles that we encounter. This is why we tend to lose the self-confidence that we have. Isn't it? Am I right? Okay, do you have self-confidence? Of course, we have all self-confidence. So another, self-confidence is a trust, is a person's faith and trust in themselves. If you don't have faith and trust in themselves, you cannot face challenges. You cannot cross the challenge that comes to us in our everyday life. Always trust in yourself and have self-confidence. Whatever you are doing, try to have faith in yourself because it is only us who will going to improve our own self. Next, it gives us the ability to face our challenges and to pick ourselves up when we fall. So only you have a trust to yourself. If you don't trust yourself, you cannot face the challenges that comes to you and you will not able to stand up again. So this is how we define self-confidence. We really all need self-confidence, especially during this time. It is only us who will going to bring ourselves up once we fall. Next, we have the four communication styles. So as we have here, communication unto the other person, that which you would want him to communicate unto you if your position were reversed. So the four communication styles are the following: the excessive, passive excessive, and then the assertive. So we have here the passive person. The passive behavior is the avoidance of the expression of opinions or feelings, protecting one's right, and identifying and meeting one's need. What do we mean by here? Passive individuals exhibit poor eye contact and Islam body posture and tend to speak softly or apologetically. So there are different expressions, statements implying examples, or these are the examples of expression of the passive people. I'm unable to stand up for my rights. I don't know what my rights are. I get stepped on by everyone. I'm weak and unable to take care of myself. People never consider my feelings. So, as it is written here, never retreat, never explain, get it done, and let them hold. Okay, so for here, I will go back. So for here, I will be focusing on the positive side, because if you will going to look at the person here, the person is look so depressed. Therefore, instead of avoidance of the expression or feelings, so let us discuss the more positive way. As a leader, we are all leaders. In the classroom, we are all leaders. Now, how can we be passive to our classes? To our classes, we can be passive by letting our students do the task. Why? We are not becoming passive. We do not pass the obligation with them. We just want them to feel that they are there, existing, and then we come to supervise them, right? So the time that you see them working, you just try to observe them. So that is one way, a positive way of being a passive person. It is not like in the definition here, wherein there is the avoidance of expression or opinions of feelings. So in order for us to develop the positive attitude of every students that we have, we need to let them participate. So we become passive once that we give them the tasks that need to be done. It is not only us. We do not want to look at like a dictator. So giving them the task, they will be more improved. They can be more improved in their studies, and will gain self-confidence and determined to what they are doing. So that is being a passive person or passive attitude in a positive way. So as a school leader or a teacher in the classroom, because we are all teachers, educators, or sometimes or others are principals or school leaders here. So for my next slide, what causes positive behavior? So we have here, one causes is the lack of motivation. What is motivation? Perhaps sabi, or here, perhaps the most common and most obvious cause of passive behavior is the most simple fact of being unmotivated. So in the conventional sense, motivation gives rises to action. When we feel motivated, we go and do the things that set out to do. When you don't feel motivated, we don't act. Isn't right? Is that correct? Of course, yes. So motivation sometimes lead to action, but motivation comes around every so often. However, motivations that follows action is always in your control, meaning it is beyond ourselves. It may seem counterintuitive, but whenever we feel unmotivated and passive, we do just something or anything, and you will usually find motivation and productivity follow close behind. So, as I have mentioned in the example, as a leader, we need to give them the task in order for them to be motivated to stand up and develop what needs to be done. Another passive behavior. So we are putting things into passive or more positive way. The lack of goals. Do we have goals? Here, what is my goal? So my goal for in this time is to give or share my knowledge to you. Okay? Another common force behind passive behavior is the lack of any meaningful goals that we receive to strive towards. So meaning, if our life consists of going through the motions, doing the same boring tasks every day, and eating the same sort of stuff, not only can it begin to feel like hound uh, hot dog, but it can also begin to eat away your life energy. So if we do things without any motivations and there is no goal at all, we cannot make good things even achievable. If we do not have our goals, we always lose our direction. Do you agree? You can always write your comment on the comment box. So therefore, meaningful goals almost always involve other people, of course. And this kind generosity and goodwill will not only grow in others and your community, but always inside of us. You, the growth of these qualities in your life inevitably leads you to out of passive behavior. So therefore, these two can always start to our own self. So for the next slide, how to stop being a passive. So the first one, be proactive, not reactive. And then second one, consider the future act. Consider the future act in the present. And third, address the emotional side of possibility. So these are some ways on how to stop being a passive. The aggressive person, let us move now to the aggressive person. Do you Have you encountered a coworker like this in your work? Yes or no? An aggressive individual communicates in a way that violates the rights of others. Thus, aggressive communicators are verbally or physically abused or both. Therefore, the communication here involves physical. So the aggressive communicators are using verbally, maybe the shouting, using of bad mouth, or physically abuse, using or beating the person. Have you ever encountered this person in your workplace? So aggressive communication is born of low self-esteem, often caused by past physical or emotional abuse, unhealed emotion, wounds, and feelings of powerlessness. Why do we communicate, or why others communicate? They have to shout. they have to hit? What is their reason behind? So they say they were born low self-esteem or because of the past physical or emotional abuse. So meaning from their history, they've been encountered, they encountered past physical or emotional abuse. At home, they were used to hear shouting. They shout with one another whenever they communicate. They thought that it is correct, and they always have the unhealed emotional wounds and feelings of powerlessness. So this is how aggressive communication, why it happens. So for the next one, the examples: the other person is inferior, wrong, and not worth anything. The problem is the other person's fault. Therefore, you are pinpointing on other person. They are superior and right. They will get there regardlessness of the consequences. They are entitled and that the other person owes them. So meaning even you are the leader, you do not need to do or say all this kind of um, comments. As a leader, you have to, so I will going to give you the tip. To be passive is to let others decide for you. To be aggressive is to decide for others. To be assertive is to decide for yourself. And to trust that there is enough. So this is from Eva Eger. So therefore, it is our own self who will going to develop the more positive manner in dealing with this kind of attitude, being an aggressive communicator. So dealing with aggressive behavior, how do we deal with this one? The first line of defense is self-control. So aggression is often associated with deep emotional responses. It is a reaction to threats or anger, I mean. It therefore triggers an emotional response in other people. So if you are going to deal effectively with the aggression in others, it is important that you understand and can manage your own emotional responses. And then next, the importance of listening and accepting. How do we really deal with the aggression behavior? We all want to be listened to, especially when we are talking about something that is important to us. One of the main triggers for aggression is a feeling of frustration or anger. So when you do so, it is important to allow the other person pastime experience or express themselves fully. That is one way of listening. Listen to what they have to say and to encourage them. Tell you the problem. An open, friendly approach helps you identify your relationship in a very supportive one rather than one of the confrontation. And of course, you have to show empathy and understanding about the situation. So this is the way on how we deal aggression behavior in relation to the aggressive communicator. The passive aggressive person. The passive aggressive person uses a communication style in which the individual appears passive on the surface but is acting out anger in a subtle, indirect, or behind the scene way. How do you notice your coworker, your fellow professionals? Do they act as a passive aggressive person? So meaning here, um, the attitude is being passive. You just let things happen, and although you are angry with that situation, you keep it. behind yourself, which give only stress to you. So these are the different communications that implies I'm weak and resentful, so I sabotage, frustrate, and disrupt. I'm powerless to deal with your head, and so I must use guerrilla warfare. I will appear cooperative, but I'm not. Do we have attitudes like this? Do we have fellow workers like this? Of course, we always encounter people like this, the passive aggressive individuals. And how to eliminate passive aggressive behavior over the long run? First, we have to make a list. Two, draw the boundaries. And then third, take one at a time. So those are the different ways on how to eliminate aggressive behavior. And of course, it will always start on us if we are passive aggressive. Admit it or not, we are somewhat we are somewhat like this sometimes, only sometimes. The assertive person, the last one, an assertive individual communicates in a way that clearly states his or her opinions and feelings and firmly advocates for his or her rights and needs without violating the rights of others. So this is the more positive communicator without violating the rights of others. So the assertive person uses statements that imply, I am confident about who I am. Are you? I cannot control others, but I control myself. Am I? I speak clearly, honestly, and to the point. Definitely. I know I have choices in my life and I consider my options. I am fully responsible for my own happiness. We are equally entitled to express ourselves respectful to one another. So, as an assertive person, we use these statements. So, these are the different summaries. So, for the passive aggressive, passive aggressive, and then the assertive. To which where do you belong here? So with this quote from the wise, the most powerful assertive technique is to repeat your command with the confidence, say that the child will soon yield. From John Gray. I would like to thank all of you for attending this program on our discussion about building assertiveness and self-confidence. I hope you learned something from this webinar. And if you want from this more of this discussion, you can check this reference from my slide, which you can access online. Thank you, everyone. And please, if you have some more time, help me fill out the evaluation from the presentation. Our good facilitator here will send the link of the evaluation form. Thank you, sir, and IGP.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful and marvelous presentation, ma'am. Ma'am, I hope our participants learn a lot from you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Our good facilitator here will send the link of the evaluation form. Thank you, sir, and IGP.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful and marvelous presentation, ma'am. And I hope our participants learn a lot from you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
Okay, dear participants, today the quiz code is IGP Quiz 1. The code is IGP Quiz 1. Dear participants, this is our quiz session time. You can join this session by slido.com, and today our quiz code is IGP quiz 1. The code is IGP quiz 1. You can also scan our QR code from the screen to join this live quiz session. And top 10 quiz competition winners get their quiz certificate. I request everyone to join with your full name, which will directly print on your quiz certificate. And don't forget to mention your friends in the comment box to join this live quiz session. Dear participants, I remind you that there is no relationship between quiz completion certificate and free international webinar certificate. After this quiz session, we have Q&A session, and after that, we proceed to our certification process. So I request everyone to join with your full name, which will directly print on your quiz certificate. And to join this session, you have to go to slido.com, and after that, you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP quiz 1. Then you can join this live quiz session. Dear participants, we start our quiz competition now. Let's start our quiz. Our first question is: assertiveness is repeating your rights while respecting the rights of others, or respecting your rights but not respecting the rights of others. Option number 1 is the right answer. Our next question is: achieving goals set can lead to building self-confidence and reduce stress. The statement is true or false. Option number 1, the statement is true. Our next question is: most assertiveness training groups are unstructured or highly structured. Option number 2, highly structured, is the right answer. Next question is: to enhance assertiveness, devote time to meeting or talk around the issue. Option number one, devote time to meeting is the right answer. Next question is, team building is the process of dash a group. Is it forming or utilizing? Option number two, unifying is the right answer. Next question is, hypnosis is successful in building self-efficacy in athletes. The statement is true or false? Option number one, the statement is true. Next question is, what is the first step in practicing assertiveness? Is it be shy or be friendly and outgoing? Option number two, be friendly and outgoing is the right answer. Next question is, what is the first step in building a positive attitude? Is it think positively or think negatively? Option number one, think positively is the right answer. Next question is, the three major strategies for building communication confidence are prepare, relax, and visualize or practice. Option number two, practice is the right answer. Our last question is, people who have high self-confidence believe in their ability to accomplish their goals. The statement is true or false? Option number one, the statement is true. Congratulations everyone, and congratulations of our top 10 quiz competition winners. Top 10 quiz competition winners get their quiz certificate after the session from our official Facebook page. Our Facebook page address is Institute of Global Professionals. Thank you everyone. Now we are going to our question and answer session. After a short video clips, we come back again with our speaker. Let's enjoy our video. Welcome back, ma'am.
Welcome. It's nice to be
Dear
back.
participant, Dear participants, this is our question and answer session time. You can send your question in our comment box. If you have any question related this topic, you can ask the question in the comment box. Our speaker are ready to answer the question. Ma'am, our first question is, how must we deal with non-assertive people?
Thank you for that question, sir. In order to deal with these non-assertive people, uh, we need to motivate them by letting them participate. And of course, we have to listen to them in order for us to know what can motivate them. So these non-assertive people, if they are the people who do not want changes in their selves and their especially in their, they just want to be, they just want to stay. So in order for them to be assertive, let us keep them always be active. Let them participate. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Dear participants, we are still waiting for your question. Dear participants, if you have any question related this topic, you can ask the question in the comment box. Dear participants, we are still waiting for your question. Okay, ma'am, our next question is, what is the difference between aggression and assertiveness in terms of meeting one need? And thank you.
So in terms of meeting one's need, um, there is a difference between aggression and assertiveness. So assertiveness is somewhat a positive without violating the rights of others. Wherein the aggression, it is more on somewhat like you are very eager to do such things, but there is what we call violation. You can do such things, but not thinking that the people around you might get hurt. So not like the assertive, being assertive one, you are trying to consider the people around you and what might be the consequences. So in the aggression, still there is what we call uh, the actions is somewhat not kind of legit. Yes, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir. Hello. How can we be assertive when asking a question? So, I will going to ask you, how do you ask questions with full of confidence? Of course, if we will going to ask question in an assertive manner, we need to think of the questions on how are we going to express the questions, on how are we going to address the questions, or to whom are we going to ask the questions. Is that question is related to the person, to the task that we are doing. So it depends upon the situation on how are you going to be an assertive when you want to ask questions. Of course, if you are sure, you will going to ask questions in a very strong way, in a that you can stand your with the what you are asking. And there are questions somewhat like in our workplace, there are questions that are they will going to ask, and then they know the answer, but those are the people who are just testing our abilities. They know the questions, still they ask as if they are just want to fool us around or embarrass us around. So if you are confident enough, you can ask questions if that question is really meant for the person and to the and related to the job. Thank you, Sir Flomi.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful answer. I hope you answer all the questions. Thank you so much
Yes,
for your wonderful presentation and sharing your valuable knowledge with our participants. Thank you, ma'am.
welcome.
We are always eagerly waiting for your presentation. I hope our participants learn a lot from you.
Ah, okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Dear participants, now we are going to share our certification process. Dear participants, today our program name is Building Assertiveness and Self-Confidence. And today our certification code is IGP0987. The code is IGP0987. Without code, no one is eligible for certificate. With code, you can claim your certificate anytime from our website. Our website address is eduyzp.com. Please take a screenshot of this picture or note the code, and the code is IGP0987. If you don't have an account on our website, first of all you have to create an account, and after that you have to enroll the program, and after that you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP0987. Then you can claim your certificate. After downloading your certificate, don't forget to celebrate with IGP checking. Thank you everyone for your active participation in this session. I hope we'll meet together in our afternoon session. Thank you everyone. Stay happy and stay safe.